Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Explore and Engage with Anam. Today I would like to talk about something which I believe is on everyone's mind here in the United States. And what is it? It is inflation. What is inflation? In short, it is a general increase in prices in the economy. So when there is inflation, the prices of goods and services increase, which also means that the value of money falls. Inflation is very challenging for people's budgets, and that's why people don't like inflation. Right now, in our country, Americans are struggling to keep up with the rising prices of everyday items. Let's talk about food prices, for example. Food prices have risen 4.6% since September of 2020, and that's according to the United States Bureau of Labor Statistics. The Consumer Price Index has risen 5.4% from 1 year ago. And we can see the increase in prices pretty much everywhere. You go to a restaurant, you look at the menu, and you look at the prices, and compare those prices with the prices 1 year ago. And I'm pretty sure that you will notice an increase, and in some cases, a significant increase. I see that here in Wisconsin, in cafes and restaurants and stores, and I know people across the country are experiencing similar rise in prices. Now, hardworking Americans on fixed incomes are facing hardship. But in addition to rising prices, there's something else. There's one more thing that is making people very much worried, and that's the shortage that we see, that we face as consumers. There are grocery store shelves that are not fully stocked. There are many shelves that are light or they are empty. And as a consumer, when you go into a store and you see an empty shelf, that makes people worried. In the United States, we are used to seeing a range of options. So whether you're buying clothes or furniture or buying soda, cookies, cheese, or even bottled water, there usually are several brands available that we can choose from. But that picture is changing because of supply chain problems. So a particular brand of product, of a certain product that you always buy, that you always assume will be available, you go to the store and you see that the store does not have that in stock. That makes people worried. And if it keeps happening over and over again, that makes people really worried. And that's what a lot of people are facing right now. We read about the supply chain issues in the news. It's everywhere. And there are cargo ships in the sea loaded with containers that are waiting. Ships loaded with cargo. And that cargo needs to be unloaded so that it can be processed and the products can get to the store shelves. But that's not happening. Everything has slowed down. Many ships full of containers and cargo, consumer products that are waiting. And so when people read about that in the news, when people see those images on TV, they get worried. We have inflation, we have supply chain problems, we have shortage, and these are very scary for an economy. Now let us talk about employers. Employers are having a very hard time finding workers. And that is one thing that is contributing to the slowing down of the economy. And I see these problems when I go to stores and restaurants here in Wisconsin. I have heard from many people, business owners and managers and supervisors who are struggling to find workers. Even after offering significantly higher wages, they are still having trouble recruiting workers for their businesses. Many restaurants and cafes don't have enough staff members that they need to provide prompt service. I will give one example of something I experienced this week. I was at a cafe day before yesterday, and They were they were supposed to stay open until 7 p.m., but they decided to close at 5 p.m. just because they did not have enough workers to stay open until 7 p.m. And many businesses are facing the same problem. I have seen dining establishments close earlier than their regular hours just because they don't have all the people they need to fill the shifts. And so they had to change their hours of operation, reduce their hours of operation, and close early. And this is painful for the businesses. This is painful for the consumers. And people are worried. We need people to get back to work at every sector of the economy. At a time when employers are having difficulty finding workers, the COVID-19 vaccine mandate from the Biden administration is making it even harder to have a strong workforce. Now, some of you already know this. The Biden administration has announced a vaccine mandate for employers with more than 100 workers. And because of this vaccine mandate, employees are having to choose between the right to make their own healthcare decisions and their employment. Workers are at the heart of the economy. Businesses need workers, and workers need sound employment. But the Biden administration is creating a barrier between employers and employees in the form of a COVID-19 vaccine mandate. A lot of people who do not wish to get the COVID-19 vaccine will choose to resign, or they will be terminated from employment because of Joe Biden's COVID-19 vaccine mandate. At a time when we need people to get back to work, this vaccine mandate is going to make the problems worse. It's going to make it more difficult for businesses to find workers that they need to produce the goods that they are in the business of producing. I personally believe that no one should be forced to take the COVID-19 vaccine. People should be able to make their own healthcare decisions. If they want to get the vaccine, they should be able to go get the vaccine. If they do not want to get the vaccine, they should not be forced to get the vaccine. Americans should be able to consult with their medical providers and make their own healthcare decisions. Americans should not be forced to choose between their freedom and their jobs. The vaccine mandate is adding fuel to the fire and making the situation more difficult. Now, talking about fuel, the price of fuel has gone up significantly. Here in Wisconsin, in the city of Madison, at a gas station close to where I live, the price of gas per gallon is $3.09, and that is regular gas. If you want to get the highest grade, it is close to $4. People need fuel every day to drive to work, to go out on a weekend, to go on a trip. We need fuel. We need fuel every day. And if the price of fuel goes up, it adds to the problem. It makes it very difficult for Americans to afford fuel, to do the things that they need to do. And this is happening across the country. According to a news report that I read recently, the top 3 states with the highest average per gallon prices of gas are California, Hawaii, and Nevada. America needs affordable energy. And we did have affordable energy last year. But right after starting office, President Biden suspended oil and gas leases on public lands through executive action. He also stopped the construction of the Keystone XL pipeline, and these are not energy-friendly policies. We need energy independence. We need affordable energy. America has natural resources that we can tap into and be energy independent. But the Biden administration is going in a very different direction, and we can see the result: rising energy prices. Government should let the private sector do its job. We need the private sector to gain momentum, to increase economic activity, to increase production. The private sector is the solution, not the government. Government needs to stop reckless spending, stop the COVID-19 vaccine mandate, and let the market operate and solve problems. Let the American market operate and solve the problems. People are suffering. The stimulus money that government provided to Americans would not help if prices keep going up. Any increase in wages and salaries would not help if prices keep going up. Even with greater paychecks, consumers would end up paying more at the grocery store and at the gas station due to inflation. If inflation keeps climbing, people will be worse off. As an American, I'm deeply concerned about the economic issues we're facing, the inflation, the supply chain issues, the shortage, and the effect of the COVID-19 vaccine mandate on America's workforce. So I wanted to share with you my thoughts, but I'm eager to hear what you have to say. So if you want to connect with me, find me on social media, share with me your experience. Are you seeing rising prices? How is inflation affecting your family and your budget? Send me your comments. I will wait to hear from you. Find me on social media. Once again, thank you for listening to my podcast. I hope to be back again with another episode of Explore and Engage with Anam.